Hey guys, welcome back to Tidbits and Tea. Got a very busy sketch for you guys today. A lot going on, a lot of downloads messages with this one, and had some technical issues with the video, and I've got a dog that's running around absolutely losing it because of a noise that he can't get to, something that's not there that he can't find, which is interesting. So I'm still digesting this one. I say that and they're all digesting things. There's definitely 3 characters here, this female man and him. I really am going back and forth on if this is a daughter or a wife. And this is the same girl. And the reason I say that is it looks like a wife because they're kind of one. And I think that if it's not his wife, it's his girl. She looks a little older. She doesn't look too young. That being said, when I started to draw this, these 3 characters came out prominently, and then she came out as the 4th. So there's 2 scenarios. This could be the wife and the mother, and this is the daughter here, portrayed over here to her left side. I tend to really think, though, that this is the mother or the wife that's portrayed here also. If this is your sketch, you will know exactly who it is and what it is. So when I was drawing this one, I got Must Be Love. And then I got A Fine Line Wine. Then I got Biotech. So I don't know if they work in a manufacturing place or he runs something like that, or a scientist or something of that nature. I got Fade Away. And then I'll tell you the rest in a minute, because it seems like if this is the wife, then she knows this guy. How these 2 know each other, I'm not 100%. But either way, this woman went out and met this guy. You can even see the way she's grabbing for his arm, her hands here, and then her hands here. It kind of extends out. He's kind of sitting here looking at her. He looks like he's high as a kite, but he's looking at her like, oh, wow. He looks sad on his right side, like he can't breathe. Maybe he's going through something and she was trying to comfort him. Up in his shoulder on his left side, it's a little shock. I think he's shocked that she's giving him so much attention. Or when they met, maybe at least. He's ascending colon down through here, part of his digestive system on the left side. He's got her coming out here, and I think he's trying to digest the fact that he was with this woman. Possibly even a little bit of bitterness or stagnation or constipation holding on to her. I also, what was the other one that I got? What is someone like you doing in a place like this? Never be the same. If we ever meet again. I'll never be the same if we ever meet again. What's someone like you doing in a place like this? Never be the same if we ever meet again. So these 2 meet. he's smoking up. Don't know if she did or not. But what I do know is they both have a lot of other people's energy in their hair. So they're with all these other people here. I think these are kind of faceless people. Their faces didn't come out prominently. I don't think they were supposed to. I think they were at a party or a gathering. They met somewhere. Maybe it's her husband or this gentleman's place of business. Maybe he works for the husband. Maybe he's employed by him. Either way, now, here we go again. I can't talk. This happened as soon as I got half of this drawn and took a break. I started choking and coughing like I couldn't talk. And I got crying on my left side. Tears just came out of my right eye, and then tears came out of my left eye, which is crying inside about something. And then I had to get a drink and got myself cleaned up. But it was as soon as I turned the camera off and I was halfway through the drawing, and then I had to turn it back on to finish the drawing. The first half of the drawing I did, and you can see this in the video, is this area here and some of this. So they're at this party, this gathering, this get together. Their thoughts are up here, and they're both kind of on the same page. She's suggesting in her head she wants to be the sexual figure here. He's thinking of her like that. But then there's this man or woman over here, and there's also this man back here, which could be him, but it could also be this gentleman over here. Or it could be him. It's just kind of foggy and hazy. So she's in her head possibly about another relationship that she's in or supposed to be with. If it's his daughter, maybe she was supposed to be with this man over here. And this is a mother to that person. Because you see her here, and it looks like her there. And then there's this little sexual bunny here. The promiscuous rabbit. So you see him here behind her, and she's got this funny look on her face. So it's very possible maybe at this party they were all together, or maybe she's supposed to be with him and that's her sexual partner and this is his mother. And here she is hitting on this guy and talking to this guy instead. And she's concerned about cheating, but she wants him. Either way, these two seem to have a fun night of drinking, getting high possibly. Maybe not. Maybe it was soberly done. Either way, they're at this event. And when I drew this in the video, when I went to piece the video together, I realized that I had the book turned, my sketchbook turned, and you couldn't see this part right here from below my pencil on, which is funny because it's what they're trying to hide. And so I drew the whole thing down in the corner, and you can't see me drawing it. And I realized that's what they want hidden. That's the fine line with wine. So they crossed the line by having too much wine. Maybe it's a biotech party, I don't know. And it must be love because you know you have too much wine and then it all shines. Sorry, bad joke. Very bad joke. As you look down on this side, though, with all these people, they look kind of out of it. Everybody's out of it. They've all had too much to drink. Whether something was slipped in a drink or not, I did not pick up on that. I just know they had a lot to drink. Her stomach area here in the front, she's trying to digest the idea of sleeping around. Maybe it was a kind of party where you come with partners, you and your partner come and you sleep with other people. I'm not 100%. What I do know, though, is that as the night progressed, if you look down in the corner, these two, he became the horse, she became the rabbit. He's caught behind her, with her here. This is her also shocked, ashamed, upset. He's right behind her here. You can see he doesn't have anything on here. The bunny's hiding him. But these two here, which would be these two or these two, caught them. They caught them red-handed. They can see what was going on, that these two were sleeping together. This person here, which I think is this woman here, was furious and had to help her. She's trying to help her out. And as they progress across, you could kind of see them all here sitting, staring kind of out of it. I don't know if they're high or what, or these are just the emotions of the people in the bodies. I haven't gotten to that part yet. I'll get there. As you come over here, you can see one of them's high and drunk or smoking and drunk. There's a lot of chaos, a lot of all of this mess here, but you can see the faces of the characters prominently coming out of there. And then over here, well, even down here, you see a bunch of rabbits, and he's got caught half dressed with a rabbit and legs between there. Even as you come across here, you see this guy, which is him here. He's with this rabbit, yet he's got his arm back here with a giant hand. You see his hand coming up with the arm, holding this rabbit, who is this woman who is puking and throwing up. Either that, or it's these two, and he's got his hand on them, holding them at bay. It really looks like her face dropped down and started throwing up, but it also looks like these two here, and he's got his hand on them while he's with the bunny rabbit. So these two were together, and it makes me almost think that they got caught by these two, and he kept a handle on it. He kept a hand on it. He didn't want to change emotion. You can see the face on his wrist. The wrist is, I think the wrist is change emotion. It's change of motion with ease. That's what it is. Change of motion with ease. So he is holding on to them, trying to control the change of what's going to happen with these two. This guy looks annoyed. She looks shocked. But at the same time, it almost looks like her dropping and puking everything out here and throwing up. So I think the two of them are not digesting the situation well. They're nauseated about the whole thing and disgusted with the whole thing, while he's trying to keep it at bay, still have his cake and eat it too. And this, if you watch the beginning of me drawing it, was almost like his huge face coming out here with these two in his head on his right side taking action forward. And then these two down here, he's drunk and out of it doing his thing, and she is looking at her, which would be this woman here, like, I know your secrets, I know. Meanwhile, here's the main man who's got major issues on his right side, which we'll talk about. And he's got his finger down, like it's on a table, but he's got the middle finger extended, which is anger and sexual issues. Could be either one, or sexual feeling. And he's got the other hand across his heart, holding his heart with his thumb prominent, which is worry. He's hiding the fact that he's having trouble digesting all of this, and it looks like it's hitting him right about the liver area, possibly even gallbladder or pancreas area. The liver is going to represent anger. The pancreas would represent rejection, anger, frustration. Life seems to have lost its sweetness. And then the gallbladder, and I really think this is the pancreas more so than the gallbladder, but the gallbladder is hard thoughts, pride, proud, so it could be his gallbladder and it could be his pancreas. But I really tend to think, well, it depends. He may be proud and bragging. It's very possible he's bragging and he's angry because he thinks he's better than this guy. Or he has no clue, and you see her face is in her mouth, shocked about maybe what's being said or not being said, or looking at this woman shocked, like, please don't say anything. She's not sure what to do. She's in her head about what he is going to say to him, while she's back here because she wants to be with him, which is another reason it could very well be his daughter that he's so proud of. But again, I do think he knows he's angry because he knows there's something going on. and he's angry and frustrated because things just aren't as sweet as they used to be. That being said, you see the girl in shock over here looking at this guy, which is this guy here. And this guy is massively in his head. He's got her on his left side. He's got this couple on his right side that action needs to be taken with. He's angry and disagreeing. He looks like he is in absolute shock on this side, angry on this side. And then if you turn, you might have to turn the phone a little bit. You see the girl here in his mouth. He wants to speak with the girl. That's who he's focused on. And as you morph down in, the rabbit comes out more prominently and is the bunny. That's his bunny. That's his sexual feed. That's his interest. They are sexually active, these two. So the person that's asking, if you were asking a question, if you're asking, are they sexually active? Yes, and this is what happened. This couple here has some knowledge of it. I don't know how much they had to do with it or not, but they know something. They definitely know something, and it is very possible they were in the middle of it all because he's sitting down here without anything on pretty much. And the rabbit's here. It's like he's grabbing between his legs and holding on to the rabbit's head and ears at the same time. Meanwhile, this guy here has a hand on both of them, and they're having a big day of it. So there's a lot going on. I got fade away. So she's had to leave him and fade away. And then I found a peanut, and I was drawing that when I was down here, and I thought she was throwing up. So I'm not sure what the peanut meant, or if they found out something, or if peanuts mean something to someone that likes this, or that maybe it's a pet name for somebody. I also got We All Want You Back Naturally. So maybe this was their running group and her partying group, and she's supposed to be married to this guy and kept sneaking out with them. And these are, I don't know, partners, but either way, they want her back. She's not with them right now. I got Sweet Sunshine. I started coughing again, and actually right before I recorded this video, I went into a coughing fit, like someone does not want me to talk about it. I would assume that's this gentleman or her. Nothing But the Dog, Nasty Dog. I did get that. I don't know if it's this gentleman or this gentleman, because he's kind of, this gentleman here is kind of showing out down here. But I got Nothing But the Dog, Nasty Dog. I got Miracle Drug, Hush Little Baby, and what was the other thing I got? I should have written it down. There was one more thing. Hopefully it'll come back to me. I also got Face in the Mirror. Look at yourself in the mirror. Look at yourself. So I do think that this gentleman needs to look at himself, and so does this gentleman, and so does this female. They seem to be the prominent three characters, even though these two characters are throughout this also. These three still seem to be the prominent characters, which tells me, I think it's this older gentleman here that's wanting to know what the truth is, and are these two together or not, because he is too upset and emotional over what I would say is his wife or partner. So I kind of went through this guy a little bit. He's got some anger issues here at the father figure, and it may be anger issues at this older gentleman. He's also got the bunny rabbit down his left leg, and he also has this couple on his left leg. So I'm sure he's got a little bitterness and anger and rage at that, and frustration. He's got his bunny rabbit prominently here on the left side is becoming a burden to him, but he also can't breathe without her. He's fallen for her. He has her on his throat chakra, so she's keeping him from talking. He's got this gentleman's eyes watching him as a burden on his right shoulder. So he's got a lot going on. If you come down to his arm here, we already talked about his wrist holding things down. He's got these two in his grip down here with his hand, And over here too, on his right side, his actions forward, his hand, what he's clutching and grasping, it's hidden in his pocket. So he's got a lot going on there, and he's got all kinds of people's energy in his head, and possibly people that are watching him in his head. Maybe he's a prominent figure and everyone knows who he is. So he's a public figure and people have a good idea. He knows this guy suspects him. He's aware of that. He's not happy about it. It is causing a burden. And then he's not digesting the fact well about his bunny rabbit not being able to be with him, the one he feels like he loves and wants to be with. So there's that. This gentleman, and you may have to zoom in to see some of this because this is a very intricate sketch. There was a lot going on here, and there were many times I was not sure at all what I was drawing. So he has got his hand on someone talking down here, but he can't quite reach it. So I think he knows that someone has information, but he can't quite get to it, and he's moving forward towards it. He's also got issues on his wrist, so he's also trying to hold something down, and I think it's his anger here. You see his middle finger out. I do think he's trying to hold his anger down, and even on his wrist, it's his face, and it's coming out of his mouth with the anger, so I think he is ready to let loose, and he's already talking and running his mouth right into her ear, but he's really ready to let loose on this guy. He just needs the proof, and he just needs to know for a fact what went down. Is it her fault? Is it his fault? I think she was into him and he wasn't saying no. I think it was mutual. I think you can't be mad at one or the other. I think you have to be equally mad at both. I do see him holding his hand over his heart, and there's a stifled little face in here. He's hiding his emotions and his feelings right now. He's holding on to this anger. This gentleman here is the burden of the world on him. It's on his right shoulder sitting there. He's got his hand over his heart and his kind of throat area here. He's keeping his mouth shut. He's keeping his feelings to himself, which is why I think he's the one asking. And he's also really having trouble digesting all of this. This is right in the stomach area here. Then we skip over to his other half, and I say that because she kind of molds into him. Her whole outfit and everything is kind of him also. If you look here, give me 1 second. So I had an interruption, which is what I think happened. They had an interruption, and they have been caught, and these two know. So back to her. She's in her head about what he is going to say to him, how that's going to go, and she's going to be having to hide behind him while he loses it because she has his mouth is open here. His hair is a mess. He is angry. He's got his mouth shut. She is just waiting for it, and she's starting to imagine how bad it could very well get. These two are in their head about her. They know. And they're probably angry, thinking she needs to make a decision and figure something out. It's not fair to him. It's not fair to him. And she can't have her cake and eat one too. Mind you, I said eat another one too. So this woman has come down here, and she's standing here staring at her like, you need to do something about this, because it's heating up, basically. The tension's building. Down her left side, she's got fear, anger, her arms, she has no movement forward. She's afraid to. Her hand is clutching and holding on to her designer bag with the smiley face and the big nose. So his face is on her designer bag, which tells me he supports her. He takes care of her, either wife or girlfriend. She is clutching onto the money. She is petrified because the one she really likes to sleep with probably doesn't have the money that biotech here has. And maybe they all work and we're at a biotech party. I don't know that. Either way, she's clutching onto her bag, or as I've heard other people say, clutching her pearls. My grandmother used to say that. But she's definitely holding on to her designer stuff. That being said, I think this is her here, her emotions coming out, petrified of what these guys are going to say, trying to stutter and make up excuses to this one. Meanwhile, she's looking over here. And this is such an interesting picture because when I first started drawing it, I was 100% it's him. But if I turn this way and I look at it at an angle, right here, I see him angry. And I almost think he is yelling at him, but she's seeing both of them just get into this huge hot mess, and the whole thing to her is just becoming a nightmare of confusion and mess, and to him it's all confusion. He doesn't know what the truth is. He knows, and these two know, or she knows and these two know. They all know what the truth is. It's pretty cut and dry. There's not much else I can say about this one, I don't think. He is in his ego for sure on the left side because it's his wife. She's his. He is in his ego on the left side. So there's a lot of ego going on. Actually, and he's in his right side here too. I see it there right now. And that could be fear on his left side. He's lashing out because of fear. So what he's saying is not what he really wants to say. I think he already knows. So if you are who I'm sketching for, you already know. This is just confirmation for you. Again, this video is for entertainment purposes. Please do not base all life decisions on this. If I was one of these people in here, I would be very mindful and think a lot before I made any decisions. Take some downtime. Take a break. I think this is a very heated situation, and I don't think anyone needs anything major to be happening right now. I did get, when I got Miracle Drug, I also got that song, Hush Little Baby, Don't Say a Word, Daddy's Gonna Buy You a Mockingbird. I think that was the money right here, the clutch. Sweet Sunshine, that was another one that came to me. I had a lot of things coming to me on this one, which was really interesting. So I think there's a lot of heavy energy between these two. They're very much in their head about each other. Everyone's in their head about them. I think a lot more people know, and there's a lot more talk than these two realize. She's hiding her emotions and her digestion, being able to digest the whole thing. And it may be him that she's hiding, that she can't digest. She feels guilty moving forward with this, but it's what she wants. Her feminine side is craving him, but she's got the guilt here because he's in her head. I don't see rings on the fingers, but that doesn't mean that there aren't. I may not have just drawn them. I really think that's all. I do think that this friend here had to help carry her away and get her out of there when they got caught, or told her that we have to go now, we're taking you home. And once she got caught with him, I do feel that. But I think that this was more than one occasion because he's got one arm up here holding on to a bunny, and then this other arm has his hand on these two in different positions in different ways. So there's a lot going on here. If you watch me draw it, you'll see even more because you'll see things as they played out as I'm drawing them. The whole time, he's one of the first characters I drew here. So again, that's why I think he's the one asking the question today. All right, guys, I hope that answered any questions you had, and I hope I touched base on all of that. Tell me what you think. Leave it in the comments and see what you guys have. And there she is right there. Not quite sure who this one is looking up at her. And this might be, you know, this might be him down here looking up at what he thinks is going on and what's actually in his head about this whole scenario, because he's not really sure. And she's the prominent one in the head. She's the prominent one in everybody's head right now, I would say. Oh, and here's the horse here. Interesting. Yeah, this is one of those sketches that I keep finding more and more things in and seeing things. So really look it over, and like I said, try to watch the drawing on this one because it's really interesting how it built. And I had no clue what was coming out, so it was kind of a couple times I'm like, what am I drawing? It was so much chaos in it. And I kept getting a lot of chaos. There's the bunny next to her. She is the bunny. Yeah, I think she's had to fade away, and they're all missing her. They want her back. And I just got a kitty crying after me. And it was my male kitty crying. Yeah, you want to be let out, don't you? All right, guys. I hope you enjoy the video, and I will see you on the next one. Real quick, guys, one more thing. If this is a daughter that's doing all this, and this is the mother in shock and surprise and not sure what to say because the friend here that caught them and is having to drag her out has come and told her, and she's in absolute shock, and he's angry because he can't believe it, then it's possible that this is the daughter, and now he's got to talk to the father. That's very possible, and she could be just clutching her bag because she's absolutely stressed out and holding on to her sanity. And sometimes for some people, money is sanity. Could be wrong about that. So if it is the daughter, and the reason I say that is you see the face here? See that face? And this could be the father trying to piece everything together. I'll show you different angles. There's the other guy's face. You sleep with someone, you become one. You form chords. They kind of are morphing. And then that other couple's above them. Sorry, trying to give you guys a different angle there. So again, it is possible that this is the daughter and not the wife. Let me please emphasize that. So this may be still a heated situation because this guy may not be up to dad's standards, and that might be part of the bigger issue, is that dad is not okay with his lifestyle choices and is putting blame on him when it's really him and the daughter. So it could be the wife or the daughter. I'm not picking up one or the other, and they look so much alike. They're very similar that I really feel like it's the same person, but again, it could be a daughter. So just for the record, if it's your sketch, then you will know, and if it's not your sketch, then you won't know. If you have any comments, let me know. I'm real curious what you think.